Good day and welcome to Drew's Book Reviews. Today we are going over the 10th installment from the Wheel of Time. It'll be Crossroads of Twilight. So this is today's book. If you are interested, stay tuned. This is coming right up. Okay, Wheel of Time, Book 10, The Crossroads of Twilight by Robert Jordan. Wheel of Time is a epic and massive fantasy series. If you have been following along with my Wheel of Time videos, then you already know that this is my third time through the series. And if you haven't been, well, now you know it's my third time through the series. Anyway, Book 10, Crossroads of Twilight. This is kind of right in that part of the series that many readers and many fans kind of refer to as the slump. And I have to say there is good reason for that. This book is really kind of a slow-paced read. There's honestly not a lot happening in the Crossroads of Twilight. So with that being said, I don't know how much I really have to say about this, but we'll say a few things anyway. This will probably be one of these shorter videos on the channel with respect to the books and the book review and all that good stuff. Overall, I will say, however, that the Wheel of Time is well worth the read overall when we look at the series as a whole. Definitely well worth it. There's so much in the Wheel of Time. It's so epic, it's so massive. I just absolutely love this book series. So in this installment of the Wheel of Time, there are essentially four main things going on with respect to the characters and the overall storyline. Elaine, of course, is in Andor trying to secure her throne. Also, I should just put a spoiler warning in here. If you haven't read The Wheel of Time or any of these books, there likely will be some spoilers involved in this video. So proceed at your own risk, essentially. Anyway, Elaine is trying to secure her throne in Andor. So she's trying to navigate the politics, gain the support of the different Andoran houses behind her to secure her throne, all the while she is also pregnant and trying to deal with that. I will leave out any details about who the father might be. I will try to remain vague in any spoilers that I do provide in this video, but essentially a pregnant Elaine is trying to navigate the Andoran throne, trying to get the houses behind her to back her support and claim for the throne. So there's that political maneuvering going on with that aspect of the story and Elaine. And then we've got Perrin, who is trying to figure out desperately how he's going to rescue his wife Fail from the Shaido Aiel. Now the thing is, this story or plot line has been going on for like a book and a half now, something like that. 1.5 books? 2 books? I don't know. It's still there. Barely any movement's been made on this. But Perrin is trying to figure out how to rescue his wife Fail from the Shaido. So he's still working on that problem, but very, very slow progress with respect to that. Of course, we got Egwene, the Amyrlin seat of the rebel Aes Sedai. She is laying siege to Tar Valon and looking to open negotiations with Tar Valon. But she's been laying siege to Tar Valon again for something like a whole book now at least. And I didn't find a lot of progress in that plot line or storyline either. Just, talk, basically. This book seems to be mostly talk and not a lot of action overall. I think at this point I might consider it my least favorite of the Wheel of Time books. Not entirely sure on that, but definitely, like I said, not a lot going on in this book. It's very slow progression, very slow moving. I mean, Matt has fled Ibudar with the daughter of the Nine Moons. Again, spoiler warning there, but he's basically inadvertently kidnapped the daughter of the Nine Moons. I will not spoil who the daughter of the Nine Moons is. If you haven't read the series, again, want to keep this vague spoilers if at all possible. But essentially, those are the 4 different plot lines going on in this book, but there really is a lack of progression I've found with the overall storyline. It's just a lot of talk, maybe a lot of setup for future events in the following books. It's been so long since I've read this series that I honestly don't remember what has happened in what book or when or how or why or anything like that. but overall, like, it's just not a lot going on there. And still enjoyable, don't get me wrong. I really did enjoy reading it. I like reading our characters' interactions. I like reading about their thoughts and what they want to do and what they want to accomplish, and you know, how they're feeling. We'll kind of get an insight into our character and how they're feeling at the moment. And of course, there's a lot of reference to the cleansing of Sidene that happened in the last book, although many of our characters don't know that is what's happened. So it's very much like they felt the power, they felt the source being used to this massive amount, but they really don't know what happened with that. Rand has basically disappeared in its entirety from this book. He's virtually not in it. He pops in for like a little bit, but barely there at all. And Rand's character is virtually non-existent in this book as a whole. And you know, for something as momentous, as huge as the cleansing of the taint from Sidene, that it's just, nobody really knows it happened. I mean, they know there was a massive event of the power that happened, but everyone's just kind of referencing where it was happening, because those who could use the source, use the power, can sense where it's coming from. But they just kind of know that something big happened, but nobody really knows what happened. So the characters have no idea, and there just didn't seem to be a lot of progression. You know, there wasn't really a lot of discovery for the other characters as to what Rand had just accomplished, and it was one of the biggest, most momentous things in the history of the world. You know, I definitely would like to see more in respect to that, with how that's gone. So there's that there. And unfortunately just wasn't much of a development in that. Post-production Drew just dropping in right here with respect to Sidene, things you think about when you've done your original film, eh? Anyway, just dropping in here with respect to the cleansing of Sidene. The more I think about it, the more I realize that in terms of the response to Sidene being cleansed, well, in large part, the world really doesn't know what happened, and that's kind of understandable, so I wouldn't necessarily expect a lot of characters going, ah, it's cleansed, yay! I wouldn't expect any kind of big super celebration on that. That being said, like, I think the Ashenman would have noticed it more and would have, you know, at least had something more to say about it than what really happened in this book. So that's kind of didn't make sense to me, as far as they're like, oh yeah, it's cleansed. Like, this is supposed to be a really super big deal for those that actually routinely use the male half of the true source. But for the rest of the world as a whole, I could understand why they'd be like, what the heck just happened? We don't really know. And just kind of sending people off to, you know, casually investigate is basically what happened. But I get why the rest of the world wouldn't have necessarily recognized or known what exactly happened. And as a result, wouldn't necessarily have been like this massive, big, you know, insane response to it from those who don't have experience dealing directly with that. So I just wanted to cut this in and kind of clarify my thoughts on that. Anyway, back to where we're at. Now, we'll give the book some credit in one area at the very least. Right at the very end, there is a event that happens, and I'm trying to remain vague and spoiler free. I would say that there is a kidnapping that happens, which really sets up an adventure or storyline for the following book, Knife of Dreams. So it'll be interesting to see how that progresses. But, you know, I will say that Fael is still not rescued from the Shadow Aiel. Elaine still is not officially Queen of Andor. You know, and just not a lot happened. I don't know what else to say about this particular installment of The Wheel of Time. I did give it a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. 3 because Wheel of Time is still an awesome series, even if this isn't the best book in the series. And you know, there really isn't much more for me to say on this one. I did enjoy it. You know, it's certainly important, I think, to read all the books in the series. If you're going to read through the whole series, I would not suggest skipping it. You know, still interesting, still entertaining to read. I still enjoyed the character interactions and what they were talking about and what was going on. It's just really, really slow progress in the overall plot and story development. So yeah, I mean, those are just my thoughts there on the Crossroads of Twilight. Not much else to say. But, you know, hopefully things pick up again in Knife of Dreams. And so, of course, I am reading Knife of Dreams, and you could certainly bet I'm going to be posting a video review on Knife of Dreams once I'm done Knife of Dreams. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. You know, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can hang out with me on Discord. I'll put my Discord channel link in the description below. And hey, if you want to support me on Patreon, got the link down there as well. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Drew from Drew's Book Reviews. Until next time, keep on reading. Bye.